Hello! How's everyone doing? Here, let me shout out Shade here real quick. How's everyone doing tonight? Alright, yeah, check out Shade. If you don't know Shade, he makes his own minifigures and paints them on stream. Yeah, he does some good stuff.
I really want to go with the sense of there. At one point, this may have been metal, but when it's not really there. You're only seeing that metal reflection.
I think you do a really good job, man. Check him out. Check him out. I'm really excited today because I finally got all my parts in. Gonna mod a Game Boy on stream, and hopefully, if we hit 50 followers, we can give that away to chat. Here, let me actually change my goal here. Get rid of that. Add this in here. Here, we'll make that a little bigger there. There, so that's our goal, to do the giveaway. 50 followers, we're kind of close. So I'll be modding this Game Boy at 50 followers. We'll consider that our goal. When I finish, we'll do some marbles on stream and give that away to one of you guys. I've been looking forward to doing this for a long time, so I'm really excited. I still don't have like a nice work area or like an overhead camera to capture the work area well. So I do apologize if you can't really see what I'm doing. I'm going to try to show my work a little closer to the camera whenever I do it, but any donations tonight are going to go towards an overhead camera for the work area, so I can do a lot more of these. So let me get my soldering iron plugged in here and we'll get started. Alright, let's switch over here. Oh, thank you, Buttmeg. How are you doing tonight? Here we go. Apologize about the cramped work area. Like I said, I don't have quite all the equipment I would like, but hopefully this will get the job done for tonight. Alright. So while my soldering iron warms up here a little bit, I think we're gonna start with trimming the case for the LCD. So if you could see here, there's all this bracket stuff here, whatever. That needs to be cut out because the LCD we're putting in here is quite a bit bigger than this area. So the easiest way to do this is just gonna be to take a side cutter and just start trimming this out. I apologize if you can't really see what I'm doing a whole lot. I'll show my progress throughout this here. I'm gonna start by clipping all this out. Alright. And this is a reproduction shell, so the plastic is a little bit easier to work with than the stuff Nintendo used, so that'll kind of work in our favor today. And it doesn't have to be trimmed, you know, perfectly, but obviously there is going to be a screen, you know, touching some of this, so you want to get it as flush as you can. Sorry, I don't know if you can see here, I'm just trimming out the bottom here. That's kind of smooth there. So I'm working on getting this all cut out here. Alright. I know I might be going kind of slow for some of you, but slow is better than fast with a lot of this stuff, so gotta be deliberate, especially when you're you know, removing material, you don't want to get too excited. All right. Sorry, I'm kind of doing this away from the camera. I am right-handed, so it's kind of the curse of where I have to set my camera right now. All right. And I kind of pull off some of the bigger pieces as I'm going, so they don't get in my way. See here, I have the whole bottom gone. I'm working my way up the side here. We're almost halfway there. It is the inside of the case, so you don't have to worry too much about, you know, getting marks like this on the inside of the plastic. Not really going to be the end of the world. All right, now I'm going to start on the other side. And the one thing I forgot to put over here was some sort of garbage collector. So we're just gonna set them on the desk for now. All right. Alright, we're getting close. We have this whole ring done. I do have to remove this whole top piece too, with the exception of this little part right there. I think that's the only thing that's staying. So some of these screens that you buy, they'll make you actually cut into this plastic here that holds the buttons in, just because the screen will come, you know, all the way down here just about. So luckily I got one that's not coming down that far. I don't have to do that much, but it is a little bit bigger than the stock screen, so you're gonna get a nice image, you know, nice size. You're not gonna be squinting. All right, let's get this over. Hi Rat, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Here, let me give you a shout out here as well. Actually, if Shade is available, he could give you a shout out. Otherwise, I will. Here, I'll just take care of that. Doing well, just checking out the modding. Yeah, we just started. We're trimming up the case now, so we're gonna stick what's it's called a Q5 display in there. And then we'll start, you know, soldering stuff on this motherboard here. So let me give you a shout out. Oh, there we go. We got 2 shout outs. Thank you. This is my personal desk. Normally all this stuff isn't on here, but yeah, I take pride in making sure it's neat and organized. Yeah, Shade, I'm sure it'd be easy enough to find the files. I know people have printed them with like PLA and stuff. It doesn't look the best, so if your resin printer would be big enough, that would be cool. We could get some, I'm sure we could find some pretty cool resin to use. That'd be a lot of fun. Okay. All right. So yeah, we're almost there. I don't know if this is focusing right, but there we go. You can see I've got almost all of it. I just need to cut out this top part, which is going to be a little difficult. I mean, maybe not difficult. It's just going to take a little bit because you see all these little supports here. All we're going to leave is this top part here. We're just about done with this. In the trash pile. And if one isn't big enough, the one in mid-October will definitely be. Yeah, that'd be sweet. I'd love to have you make me something cool. That'd be awesome. I've always wanted to get a UV printer. So it's basically you can print color images on parts. So like this, if I wanted like my logo right here or something, instead of like having someone paint it or putting a sticker on there, you could just basically set this in a UV printer, and it would put the image, like mend it to the plastic actually. And you can, I mean, there's people that'll do it for you, but it's a little expensive. I mean, not crazy. I mean, it's like $30 for the printing, but you know, if you want to do enough custom stuff, that'd be definitely something that you could invest in, which hopefully I'll be able to do someday. All right. I think maybe I'm just gonna trim up some of the jagged spots, then we're gonna be done with this part. I'm just gonna feel around and make sure. Yeah, looks good to me. So if you see here, I've got the only thing left is just this little brace at the top. We had to cut all this out. We even had to cut some of this little hole for the LED, but now our display should fit in here pretty well. Actually, this part is sticking up a little bit. Let me just do some more trimming, just a little bit. Can't be too careful when you're setting a screen right up against this stuff. All right, so I'll reference my guide here. All right, now we're gonna actually fit the display in here. Gonna peel off. They luckily gave me, you know, pre-cut adhesive, so I don't have to worry about whether it's straight or crooked or whatever. Okay. Sorry, maybe gonna try to get my hands to not block this here, but gotta just line this up. Oh wait, was I supposed to trim more? I think I was supposed to trim more. 1 second here. Let me just reference. Oh, yep, I was supposed to trim more. Not quite done. Oh, I have a real nice Dremel. It's just not necessary for this. I will be using it on the back of the shell. We'll have to cut out the battery compartment, and I won't do that with the side cutter. But it's definitely just easier to do it with a cutter for the front there. So I gotta cut down. Don't have a marker or anything. I'll just mark it with a scissor. Do a little bit of scoring. Get down to about here. Okay. And a little bit off the sides. Okay. That's good. So I don't want to trim off too much here. I mean, the glass lens will cover a little bit if I accidentally cut too much. But we're just gonna get a little starting spot here. All right. Here we go. Hey! Thank you, One Milk Steak One. How are you doing tonight? Thanks for stopping by. We're just cutting the shell. I'm sorry if my hands are kind of blocking things. I am right-handed, so bear with me. Just trimming the shell here. How are you doing tonight, buddy? I hope everything's going well. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. Alright. Just a little bit of trimming left. Not too much. Trying not to get too much plastic shavings on my carpet. Alright, where to start with this one? Like this. Just like that. That's what I'll do. Get this. Alright. We're getting there. It's gonna be a little crooked, but that's okay. You're not gonna see that unless you open it up, so get this. Alright, let's start here as well. Alright, we're almost done. See, we're cutting out this window a bit bigger. I just have to trim this side a bit more, and we should be set. Okay. Sometimes you just gotta do a sliver at a time until you get enough area really to cut out a good purchase of plastic there. There we go. Okay. Alright, got a little bit of a bump. Just trim that right out. Okay. So you can see the window's bigger. There's a couple jagged spots, but like I said, once we put this put this screen on there, it's just going to be covered right up by this pink bezel, so not going to be a whole lot to worry about there. All right, looking about perfect. There are a couple spots I need to trim just a tiny bit more, just so that it doesn't peek through. All right. All right. There we go. And I think, see what I'm doing is there's a little outline. You're not going to be able to see it on camera, but there's a little outline around this where the center of this peels away. I'm just making sure that that's all pretty much visible. I think just to be safe. Just to be safe, I'll peel it off ahead of time. We'll have to clean this lens before we actually put it on. But now we can actually see what it's gonna look like. Yeah, and there's a little bit of green. I don't know if you can see a little bit of green peeking through on the top. So I will trim that. But otherwise, it's looking pretty good. I'll just clean up these edges a little bit more. So, here we go. Don't have to trim off a whole lot, luckily. It's one of those things where you do have a little bit of wiggle room. You know, if you cut off a little bit too much, it's not going to matter. But if you don't cut off enough, then it's going to look like you don't know what you're doing. And you know, you don't always have to know what you're doing. You know, I'm not here to judge, you know. Okay. Clean up jagged spots a little bit. And there was a little bit on the edges that I wanted to clean up. Alright. Alright. I think we're looking good. Let me check this out again here. Now I can do a little bit more off the top. I didn't want to do a whole lot because the top is kind of thinner than the rest. You can see teeny tiny bit poking through there at the top. Not a huge deal. Shouldn't take too much longer of cleaning this up here. Just take another millimeter off and we'll be okay. Alright. Don't get stuck on me, side cutters. There we go. Okay. I think now we can finally call it good. Yeah, perfect. There's a little piece coming in this corner. One more snip, maybe two. There we go. There we go, not bad. Well, okay, a couple more snips. Just if you get it at the right angle, you can see a tiny bit of plastic. So I want it to look real clean from the front. You know, from the inside, that's another story. You know, a lot of people say it's what's on the inside that counts, but stuff like this, it's definitely what's on the outside. All right, we are in business as far as getting the display ready there. So now we can put this adhesive on. All right. Just want to make sure that the adhesive isn't going to be peeking into the screen at all either. That we're all getting it laid down here nicely. Alright, something like that. Alright. Now it's time to drop the LCD in.
need some music.
How about now? There we go. Sorry about that. Man, how long have I been silent? My apologies, I must have bumped that. How you doing, man? Must have bumped that, my bad. We're just doing a little bit of soldering. Go ahead and lurk. Gonna get a little bit of solder on my iron. Try to let you see this if I can. A little bit of tin there, yep. How you doing, Key? You having a good night? You streaming tonight? What's going on? So now those are tinned. We can solder these wires. We'll start with select. Select on there, nice. We'll go. What are we looking at? Here we go. A. Sorry if my hand covers anything. All right. now B. Alright, those are on there good. So clean my tip. Okay, now we have control to the display. Perfect. So before we continue to attaching the screen and everything, I do want to go and do the Pro Sound mod. That's going to be an internal mod to remove some noise and hiss from the speaker, or from the headphone jack and the speaker, I guess. So we'll have to do some of that on the back side here. And to do this, I know you can't see well, but there's two little resistors down here, EM2 and EM3. They're right in this area right here. You're going to want to remove those because that will disconnect the headphone jack from the internal amplifier. And then what we're going to do is just solder some wires directly from the volume potentiometer to the headphone jack. So we'll kind of figure out how much wire we want here. Oh yeah, I think that's more than enough. Where's my snippers? Here we are. Now we have a length of wire. I'm gonna, hopefully that stuff doesn't fall off my desk. Gonna trim this a little bit. Perfect. Microwave. What's up, L-Tab? What's up, One Milk Steak? How you guys doing? I'm not going to show you my microwave. Unfortunately, that's attached to the wall, so... Could show you my toaster, but it's drying off in the bath right now. Dat butt? Always that butt. Always that butt. Alright. I'm just gonna... Don't need to trim a whole lot off of them. Just a little bit of just the tip. Just the tip. Just a touch. And we'll wait for the other end for now. What we're gonna do is we have to go from here, down here, over to this side, and then connect down here. So we're gonna start out right away by just running this wire right through there like that. Right through there. Okay. Then the way this works is on this volume potentiometer, maybe you can't really see it. Get those out of the way. There's all those little pins there. The second and third one are left audio channel and right audio channel. So I've already tinned them. I did do a little bit of work on this Game Boy before stream started. I apologize, I just couldn't wait. And a little bit up here. Gonna add some flux. Just a little bit. I apologize, my hand is gonna block some of this here. Gotta get these wires bent just the right way to do this. apologize you can't see. That's one thing. Any donations tonight are going to go to an overhead camera, so next time I do this you can see it a little bit better. Let me set this down so I don't burn myself while I mess with wires here. You know, maybe a tweezers would help. There we go. Now we'll do this with tweezers on my side. All right. So now we got, I don't know if you can see there, got green and blue hooked up to the second and third pins. Now we can really kind of position this wire for success and not getting in the way. We want to just make sure that the wheel can spin without resistance. There we go. Let's see, and how am I gonna spin this around here? Let me just look at how I did it the last Game Boy I did this on. Okay. So I'm just gonna tuck it under this capacitor I've added here. Tuck it under and run it up right here. Kind of under this here, and there we go. That's right where we want it. So now, whoop. Always dropping something. I'm always dropping something, you know? Alright, enough dropping. Now we can figure out here. We have about an inch too much here, so we're gonna cut this. There we go. Strip it. All right, got it stripped. Split it down the middle. All right, got to pull it apart. So we're going to solder the left channel to, I don't know if you can see it, right here. Left, right. So one thing, this already has a lot of solder on it, and it might be like a different makeup of the solder I'm using, so I am going to load this up with solder to kind of mix that and let it melt a little bit easier here. That's not the best. Let me try that again. There we go. Got left done. Oh, it's still hot. All right, now we got right done. So let's see how we're looking. There we go. Kind of hard to see. I apologize about the GoPro's autofocus. We're all soldered up, so the internal pro sound is done. Now I am gonna add an audio amplifier to this as well. So let's do that while we're here, before we start buttoning everything up. I'm sorry. I did pre-solder this. This is just like a standard Arduino audio amplifier. I did kind of solder it up for the most part before stream, so I apologize about that. Just couldn't wait. So we'll start by hooking up the power, and this is just, we're gonna solder to the back of the DC-DC converter here. Gonna pull 5 volts directly from that. All right, there's ground. Alright, so we got power hooked up there. Then we gotta hook up the line signal for the speaker. And that's just gonna go right next to the headphone jack here. Let me see if I can. I know you probably won't be able to see it. I do apologize. I do need a new camera overhead so you can see this stuff. Hold this up so you can at least see it. If I can do it half blind here, I will. For you, chat, for you. I don't know. No, that's not gonna work. I need to see what I'm doing. I can get this to stop moving around on me. There we go. There we go. That's good enough. There's one. I'll try to get this out of my way here. Maybe I'll have to use my tweezer for this one as well. There we go. Now I got it. Sorry about that. I know this. Oop! Wrong scene. I keep bumping the button. Here we go. Alright, there we go. Sorry about that. Sorry, my hand kind of blocks everything when I'm soldering here. Alright, got that clean. So now we have the speaker amplified. We have the headphone jack pro sounding. And we have the controls for the on-screen display wired up. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Next, one more thing before we put it all together. I mean, besides the battery, that's gonna be last, but here I've added little LED lights to light up the buttons. They are going to be clear purple buttons, so the light will shine through them nice and easy. So I do need to wire those up. I'll grab my roll of Kynar wire. And the reason you want to use Kynar wire for this stuff is because this is, this is going to be squished pretty close to the faceplate or the motherboard of the Game Boy itself, so you don't want big wires that are gonna get crimped in these, and all that stuff. So Kynar wire definitely works. It can definitely carry enough juice for these little surface mount LEDs. So let's see here what we got. I can't read the polarity on this. 1 second. Alright. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong and it just won't have LEDs. Let's see. What's great about Kynar also is you can strip it with your fingernails. Real easy. So again, before you start soldering anything, you want to clean your tip and then just put a little tiny, just a touch of solder on there. Alright, let's see here. Okay. So then now we're going to trim this to the length we need. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wire this one on the end up to this one, and then this one up to this one, and then this one will grab power and deliver it to all three of them. We're going to be working with some pretty short wires here after a minute. That's it's just part of the fun. We need to add a little bit more solder, just a touch. There we go. And we'll cut this one as well. All right. Then, there's my tweezers. I'm gonna pull these wires. Now let me see if I can do this. I'm gonna pull these wires up so we can get at them. We're gonna trim the tips of these. I know they're real small. Sorry you can't see so well there. All right. Got those trimmed. Now it's time we're gonna hold them in place with the tweezer and solder them to the second LED. So clean our tip, load it up here. Alright, the first one's on there nice and good. Alright, before we do the second one, we're actually going to start the next run for the first one so that we don't have to work around a bunch of wires. Here we go. I think I tripped a little bit too much. Let me just snip this. Cut it down to more reasonable size here. Oh my gosh. They're so tiny. Here, try this again. A little bit more solder. No, just when I thought I had it. Sometimes this Kynar wire doesn't want to stick so good. There we go. There we go. Okay. I gotta measure this out to the third one here. Like that. Perfect. All right. Now wire number 2. Clean the tip. Gonna strip this. Oh. Gonna make myself enough room here to get this second little wire in, and then stick it down. A little solder. All right. Now we'll do the other wire from this second LED. There we go. And it's kind of looking like we might not hit 50 followers tonight, so here's what we're gonna do for everyone waiting for a Game Boy giveaway, because this was kind of going to be my prize to chat for getting me to 50. So if we don't hit 50 tonight, once we do, then I'll plan the giveaway during another stream of mine. And I'll, however you found out about this one, I'll post that information there as well, leading up to that, so that we can, try to get you a chance to win it as a thank you for showing up here. So again here, clean your tip, put a little solder on it. Oop, sorry about that, microphone. Alright, second one's good. Clean your tip. We're going to cut this to length as well. Alright. So now if you can see this too well, we have this first one connected to the second one. Now we're just going to connect it to this one and then run wires from this to power DC-DC board on the Game Boy Color. We're gonna kind of do this the same way. We're gonna solder one of these wires that's already here Then we're gonna solder a second one onto that, and then we'll solder the other one here in a second wire. So let's strip that. We'll load up with some solder. Alright. And we'll get another length of wire. And for this one, we'll just make it long, because this isn't going to be attached right away. We'll just make it long and trim it down later. So let's make this, I don't know, 6-7 inches. Gonna be more than enough. We'll get a little bit more solder there. You always want to give your wires the wiggle check. Make sure they don't disconnect after you solder them. We got one there, beautiful. Gonna get another one here, same thing, about 6 or 7 inches long. There we go. That. Set that off to the side, and we're gonna do. I'm gonna clean our tip first. It's been a little bit. Get some solder. Alright, I'm gonna grab this second wire here now. Alright, second wire's in there. Now we gotta add the long boy. I'll add a little bit more solder to my tip here. And this does happen. So what just happened, it's gonna be really hard to show it, and I apologize, but when I soldered the second wire on, it's already where another wire was, so that one became disconnected. And it's just one of those things, you know, I only got 2 hands, so this stuff happens. And we just gotta try again. It's not gonna be the end of the world, these things take time. Oh, and then there goes the other one. What I should do is get both of them in my tweezer if I can. Sometimes you gotta get creative. This isn't my normal work area, and I don't have my helping hands. So let's see how we can do this. Just like that. There, now I got both of you. Got both of you in my tweezer. Just gonna add. Alright, that's how it's done. Do the wiggle check here. Looking good, looking good. Alright, clean my tip. Let's see, what have we got here? So now we can put the LCD stuff in. Perfect. So we'll hook that up to power once this is in. We're gonna set this here. I don't think we're gonna need the soldering iron for a minute, so I'm just gonna unplug it. Don't want to burn myself. Alright. Now it's time for this to go in here. Just like this. Gonna just snap this LCD connection onto this little board here. Takes a little bit of lining up. There we go. That's firm. Alright. Now we're going to, so these little tags hanging off here, off the top, they're touch sensors. This one is to control the brightness, and then this is going to be to change the color mode. Oh, almost forgot my second layer of insulating film for the PCB. We're gonna put this on top here. We just don't want it making contact with the board. And this honestly doesn't really even stick on that well, but I mean, better to have it, you know, better safe than sorry. Alright, we're going to adhere these touch sensors to the top of the plastic case here. Gotta peel off this adhesive. Oh my gosh. Why did I have to trim my fingernails for Maybe I can get it with a tweezer. There we go, there's one. Here's the other. Alright. So now we're just going to kind of bend these into shape and put them where we want. Here we go. One up in this corner and one in this corner. Alright, there we go. We got the touch sensors in place. We can. Alright, we can now actually start connecting this. You know, I almost forgot. I want to switch out this power LED here. This one's pink right now. I want to make it rainbow and actually have one ready to go. So let's do that before we button it all up. Okay, I don't need some of this stuff. Don't need that. We'll plug my soldering iron back in. Give me a moment. I like the way you use those hands. Yeah, you know, that might actually be the first time I've heard that. Alright. to remove this, we're just going to get a little bit of solder on here. And what I'm going to do is, you can't see, but the pins here for this LED, we're just going to heat those up with some fresh solder and just lightly tug on this LED from the other side. And there we go, it's out. Pink one is out. Oh, some excess solder there, we're just gonna clean that up. And we'll put this in. We're gonna kind of do the same thing. I'm just gonna line this. There's one long pin and one short pin, so I'm gonna line the long one up on the outside of this here. Gonna heat it up and push it through first, and then I'll do the second one. Alright, and then we're just going to kind of slowly heat up each pin and push this through. There we go. See how I'm pushing that? See how I'm pushing that through there? You don't want to push too hard because you don't want to strip these pads. There we go. Now it's nice and flush there. I can add a little glob of solder here to this other end for each pin, and then we'll trim it up. Okay. Clean off my tip. Set this down, and then we're just gonna trim these here. All right, looking good. Looking good. Let's put it in the front half of the shell. First, I'm gonna unplug this so I don't burn myself. Get that out of my way. You always want to be wary of that because I can't count how many times I've burnt myself. So I'm just gonna kind of do one of these numbers. Just stick this in, kind of hold it together, and pinch the clamps. Perfect. Perfect. Alright, so now we have it all lined up like this. What I can do is put these buttons in. Like so. There we go. Buttons are in. Now I've got to put the silicone down. Like this. Like that. And like this. Alright, so then you fold it over. Okay, before I button it up, I got these wires for the button lights. I gotta remember which one is positive and negative, so positive, negative. Okay. Put the speaker in its home, like that. We have these wires that have these wires on the side here that we're gonna have to figure out what to do with those. I think if I get them like this, I can just fold them over the top. And then we gotta make sure that it's not covering where the silicone needs to touch on this side. Okay, like that. Like that. All right. That should be good. All right, time to screw it down. I know nothing about what you're doing, but it's very interesting and I love the chill music. Well, thanks, man. Yeah, so let me explain a little bit about what I'm doing first. So normally, I don't know if you've ever owned or used a Game Boy Color, but obviously first Game Boy with the color screen, it didn't have a backlight, first of all. So if you wanted to see the screen, you had to be in a lit room. So that's the first thing I'm changing, is I put a new IPS LCD in here, so it's going to be backlit, really bright color screen. It's also a little bit bigger than the normal screen. Then the next thing I'm doing is I'm cleaning up the sound. So I've already done a Pro Sound mod and a speaker amplification. So it means that when you plug your headphones in, you're not going to hear the hiss, like for electronic whine. And then the speaker is obviously going to be a little bit louder. And then once I get this all buttoned up here with the screen and I added some lights to the buttons, then we're gonna add this this lithium polymer rechargeable battery and a USB-C plug. So you can just plug it into any USB port to charge it, and the battery will probably last a good 10 hours, if not more. So that's what we're doing. Alright, where's my screwdriver set? Pardon me, tools. Alright, what do we got here? Some of these screws are for the outside of the case and some are for the inside. So I gotta just look at these here real quick, count them out. Get them all knolled. Long, short, long. Okay. I have it. I have it now. We're gonna screw this together. We're gonna hook up a battery and just test it out. That's the first step. Alright, and these cases that you get, they're not pre-threaded, so it is a little bit tough to screw the screws in. we go. We got 2 screws in. It's fitting nicely. Good. All right, I'm just looking it over here. We're gonna wire up these LEDs here real quick. Hook up a battery and see what we get. Let me just get a sip of water first here. All right. So we'll plug this back in. Get that heating up. All right. And before I actually trim this extra long wire down to fit perfectly here, I'm just gonna hook it up while it's long, just in case I need to readjust something. Things can always be removed later, but if you remove too much too soon, then you're just doing too much work. Then you're gonna have to go back and fix it. It's gonna be a whole thing, so. All right. Get a little bit of solder here, there we go. First we're going to do the negative, and this is just to the top pin on the left side of the DC-DC converter. That's going to give you 5 volts, and then the negative is going to be a big ground pin on the DC-DC converter. So I wish I could show you this, but alright, we're made in the shade there. Alright. And for testing purposes, let's wire up this battery. I hope it's still charged. I charged it a couple months ago. It's been sitting since, so. Alright. Okay. So let's see what happens here. I'm gonna just kind of hold this together by hand for the time being. There we go. See the power light changing color there? Yeah. It's working. All the lights are working. We are good to finish this up. How exciting. Okay, just because I am gonna have to resolder it anyway, I'm disconnecting the battery now. We've tested good. Alright, now it's getting to exciting territory. I'm gonna unplug this soldering iron. I don't think we're gonna need it for a while. We have to figure out how it's all gonna line up with the back of the case here. Because I've added things like this capacitor at the bottom and this amplifier plus the battery, we're not going to be able to you know, attach it with this battery compartment, it's gonna squish everything down there. So we're gonna have to Dremel that out. And then because of some other things added here, I am gonna Dremel out a bit of this support right here. Just got to figure out how much, and then we'll figure out where I want the USB-C port. If I want it on the side here or coming out the bottom, we'll get there. But I'm gonna go to my be right back screen for a minute and gonna use the restroom and get out my Dremel, and we'll get this cut up here. Stay tuned, I'll be right back. Here we go. Alright, sorry about that. Wait, guys, I got the Dremel all set up. Let me grab that here. This is my new Dremel. I've used it a few times. It's very nice. So we're gonna kind of go about this bit by bit so we don't accidentally carve out too much. You see that there's these 2 screw posts here that I at least want to leave one of them intact, otherwise there's going to be nothing holding the bottom of this together. But I think just trimming out everything around that to start out with, and then we'll see where we go. I am going to leave, you know, these notches at the top and this little clip area at the bottom so that we can attach the battery door. I apologize, I'm going to try not to do this too close to my keyboard and stuff because it is going to send plastic bits flying a little bit, so I'm going to kind of do it down here. Just another thing you're not going to be able to see too well, so I apologize. Pardon the noise. I'm going to try to move the mic away too while I do this. Put that up here, away. Definitely gonna have to vacuum after I'm done with this. Let's see, we got a good chunk of it cut here. Gonna be able to just pull this right out. Alright, we're only most of the way there. Let me clean this up a little bit. I still gotta get rid of the sides and the top and stuff like that here, but we're on track. On track. Alright. Get rid of some more of this slag here. Just don't want it flying off and hitting me in the face, you know. I am wearing glasses. You could say they're safety glasses, but they're prescription glasses. But they are protecting me also, so make sure, you know, make sure you're being safe out there, kids. I'm gonna do this again here. Alright, second pass is done. Let's check it out. Again, I just kind of cut slits in it so I can take pieces and just remove them by hand. Gonna take these pieces here. All right, we're looking better. We're looking better. Get the slag out of here. And you'll notice how from the outside, I haven't cut into any of this, so the battery clip is still going to be able to just sit right in here nicely. Next, I just got to remove these sides, and then we'll start figuring out where we want to place this USB port. So what we're running into now is the Dremel. When cutting along here, the Dremel is also starting to hit up here. So I might have to just finish this up with a side cutter, and that's not the end of the world. We can pull most of this out here already, so we're making progress. Let me just get my side cutters. We'll just real quick snip this out. Yeah, see? There we go. That's what we want. Just gotta pull this stuff out of here. Maybe do a little cleanup trim. We got one side, this side's out. There we go. We just need to finish this other side. All right. Now we got both sides out. Here we go. We're just gonna clean up a lot of this plastic melted shit here. The slag out of the way. Looking pretty good. Alright. Alright, so aside from that, I do need to trim out a little bit for this capacitor here. So I am just gonna cut this whole part out right here. And I'm just cutting slits into the side, and then I'm just gonna bend it and kind of stress this plastic a little bit so it's like a clean snap. There we go. Just like that. If you see, it's pretty clean snap right there. Oh, just clean a little sliver off here. All right. So now let's see what we got. Let's just do practice fit here. Okay, got wires in the way. We'll figure out where to run those. Probably like that. Got a few wires running out the side, but this is what we're looking at, so that this battery can just sit right in there. Nice. And we will be cleaning up some of these wires and stuff hanging out, but this is just for testing purposes. So that's going to be perfect for battery. Now we just got to figure out where we want this USB port to go. The best option might be to run it out the side right here. Or I could remove some of this plastic here so that I can have it come out the bottom right next to the headphone jack. So this is what I'm gonna try to figure out here while I think about that. I am going to shorten up these two blue wires for the button LEDs. And then maybe I'll know where I want to put this USB port by the end. Alright, so get this Dremel out of my way. We'll probably use that again in a little bit. We'll plug in my soldering iron here. Here we go, dropping everything again. Sorry, guys. Alright. So we're just going to first desolder these long LED wires carefully. There we go. And we'll just shorten them to where they need to be. I'm just going to kind of measure this by eye. That works for me. And then this one, like that. There we go. I'm going to strip these wires. I'm gonna load our tip up with some solder. Give it the old wiggle test. Looking good. Alright. Whoop! My mic. Sorry if that was loud. Let me tighten this up here. There we go. Move this a little bit away from me here. Alright. Where are my tweezers? You know, if you're worried about not being able to see what you're doing because of your fingers, a good pair of needle nose tweezers goes a long way. Gotta load a little bit more solder on my tip here. There we go. Alright, give it the wiggle test. That one didn't stick, so we're going to try again. That's why you always do the wiggle test. Alright. So we got that done. Perfect. While we have the soldering iron out, let's hook the battery up to the charger. Just clean up these wires a little bit. Let me snip them. Grab my snippers. And snip. We just want these wires to be nice and clean. You know, when you mess with them so long, they get all fanned out. That's not what we want. So we're gonna snip them. I'm gonna trim them again here. My wire stripper here. There we go. Alright, so we got it stripped. We're gonna just kind of start with one here. We'll start with the negative wire. Just gonna kind of stick it through the hole, and then we'll load up some solder here first. Load up solder. Pretty good glob of it there. We're gonna stick the first wire through the hole, kind of carefully hold it, get that gob of solder on there. Perfect. So we got that nice and stuck there. Now time for the positive. Same thing, gonna load up some solder. Gonna see if I can do this here for you, invisible. Ooh, missed a little bit. Should be easy to clean up. There is a solder mask on here, so you just gotta. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Battery is connected, ready to charge. Gonna clean my tip here. And we'll get some wire cut to connect the battery to the Game Boy. We don't need this to be too long. Probably only 2 inches or so. I'll grab my snipper. At about 2 inches there. Trim these as well. And same thing here. We're gonna just stick one through here, load up our soldering iron, and touchdown. We'll get a good glob here. Stick this through the hole, like so. Go, there's one. And some more solder. All right. So those are there. We will only need to solder one more thing, and that's when we attach the battery to the board. So right now gonna just get these buttons in place here real quick. So I did replace the power switch on this a couple days ago, and it looks like it's not quite lined up where it needs to be. So I am just gonna try and redo this here real quick. See how well I can do this here. I might actually need to use my solder sucker, desolder this completely. So I'll get this here. Maybe put a little solder. Not quite, not quite. Try again. That's not too bad, okay. All right. Different angle here. Maybe get some more solder. There we go. Sometimes you have to add solder to remove it. Okay. That might be as close as we're gonna get with that desoldering pump. Let's try to remove this here again. Alright, we got half of it up here.
I'll get you there.
Alright. So I removed this little power switch. I'm gonna clean up these contacts here a bit. There we go. We're looking good. We're in business, folks. We're in business, folks. Now let's just get this lined up again and make sure that we can activate the switch here. Let's set that down. Where do we need to be in order for this to purchase here? Right about there. Okay, that should be easy enough. So I'm gonna line this up. Maybe I should use a tweezer for this. Gonna clean my tip. Load some solder. Got 2 points in place there. I just want to double check my fit here before we solder the rest. Looking good. Looking good. So we'll just get a little bit more solder here and go to work. Change my angle a couple times. Okay. Alright. I did add a little glob of solder. No big deal. I'll just suck it up here. Alright. I think we're done with the soldering iron for a little bit. We're gonna have to Dremel before we use that again, so let's just double check this power switch one more time and never be too careful. Oh yeah, beautiful, beautiful, perfect. Okay, so now we gotta try and measure out our hole for our USB charger here. I think I will have it come out the side instead of the bottom. I don't know, there's kind of a cable there. How much can I move this cable? Not enough. Maybe I'll have it come out the bottom. That's what I'll do. I'll have it come out the bottom right next to the headphone jack. In order to do that, we're gonna have to cut away this half of the clip, but that's not a problem at all. Let's see, what side is that on? That's on this side. Just gonna snip this right down the middle here. Get rid of this whole post. Yep. Come on. All right. Get that out of here. Okay, how are we looking? If we put this down here, we're gonna fit. Whoop. Here, let's try it like this. We'll fish this through first, like this, like that. Oh yeah, we cleared it there. So now I'm gonna set the Dremel up again, and we're gonna cut out right where this hole is. That's where the you used to plug in the charger, but I've removed that from the motherboard, so we're just gonna see if we can line that hole up and put a USB there instead. So let me change my Dremel bit. 1 second here. All right. I have changed my Dremel bit. This is going to be something I'm going to mostly eyeball, but I'm going to be stopping and referencing how this sits a lot. Let me... Okay. That's going to be a little off. Where do I want this here? We only get one shot at this, you know, making a hole like this. Should have put it like this. Yeah, like that. Flip it around. Test it out. I can't have it too far over. I have it right there. Where's that gonna put me? Whoop. Battery's sliding around on me here. Come on. Okay. It's not gonna quite exactly line up with this bottom hole 100%. But that's okay with me. So we'll get Dremel going here. Move this away. Okay. Gonna clean this up a little bit and see how it fits. Get the slag out of there. Gotta go over just a tiny bit more, I think. But we're looking good. We're looking good. One more pass and we'll clean it up. Okay. We're looking pretty good here. Looking pretty good here. So, and the way I'm gonna do this, I am going to get it all pieced together here on stream, but in order to affix this USB port so it doesn't, you know, break on you or get punched into the console and it doesn't get all janky, I am going to use some, it's called Sugru. It does take a whole day to set, so I'm going to put it together on stream without the Sugru. Then after stream, I'll bond it to there and wait a day for it to dry before I button it back up again and make sure everything's good. So just gonna get this together here. Can move some stuff out of the way. How should I move these cables into place here? I think I'll have them come down here. Maybe stick this down with some Kapton tape. And here's why you use Kapton tape instead of regular electrical tape. Electrical tape has really crappy adhesive, and it's thick and rubbery, and you're honestly better off getting this stuff. It sticks well, it's heat resistant, it's not conductive, and it's cheap. I mean, it's not anything fancy, but it's better than your plain Jane gas station electrical tape. I'm going to kind of twist up these wires here, get them in a nice little bundle, and stick them down. There we go. And it doesn't have to be fancy, it's just so that they don't pop up and get in the way here. Alright. Gonna kind of just get everything into position here. Put this on here. Perfect. Last step is gonna be connecting the battery and getting it put together. We're almost done, boys. Home stretch. Right, so I can get this Dremel out of my lap. That stuff. Get my soldering iron plugged in. We're almost there. I'm excited. If we can somehow get 27 followers, or I mean 17 followers in the next, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, then we'll be able to give it away. Alright, so soldering iron's heated up. I'm gonna load it with some solder. Great. Braid a little bit there. There we go. The wiggle test did not work. Let me try that again. Gotta try not to touch any of these other wires here. Good, we got positive in there. And I have to move some of these wires out of my way here for a minute. All right. get ground soldered. All right, looking good, everyone. Okay, it's clean, done soldering. And how this is gonna work is this charger is just gonna stick right there like that. Gonna come right out the bottom next to the headphone jack. It's gonna be pretty slick. So let's get this here. Okay. Oop. This little IR sensor cover just fell out, so we'll pop that back in. Okay. These are tri-wing bits. Let me switch my screwdriver here. Oh, sorry, I bumped the mic. I just screw this back together here. Then I have, I think the game I'll test it out with is Wario Land, just for a couple seconds. Gotta make sure all the buttons register and all that jazz, but I'm sure we're good. Okay. One more screw. All right. And this is gonna go there, like that. That's a tight fit, but look at that, all buttoned up and back. We're still gonna clean this screen and add the glass lens, but for testing purposes, uh-oh, there we go. See, what is going on? Are we, maybe that switch isn't lined up again. Let me check that. Gonna first just make sure that I'm getting juice. I'll plug this in. Okay, yeah, that switch must not be lined up. Let me take this apart real quick. And this is the worst part of modding, when you think you're done. You're almost never done. Okay. Yeah, that switch was not lined up. How can I force that to line up for me here? Okay, because it definitely works. It's just that switch. Let me look at this here. I'm gonna move this for a second. That switch just, once it's screwed together, that switch stops lining up. So let me see if I can move that around again and get that working. So yeah, once we got it working, but it just stops lining up at a certain point. Let me figure out what is going on there. Why are you giving me a hard time, buddy? Wires. I'm just gonna try heating up this switch and moving it back a tiny bit. If my chair wasn't on my cable. I might actually just remove this whole thing again. Let's try that. Put up some solder. Oh. Alright. I think we can get it with a tweezer here. Maybe not even a tweezer. No? If I didn't just break the switch. Okay, I have another one. No worries, no worries. We're just gonna remove this real quick here. Alright, let me go get another switch. I'll be back in a couple seconds. I'm gonna touch these up here. Alright, 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Okay, it's always good to have extra switches on hand. So, let's see, my mouse. Oh. One second. Alright, sorry if there's a noise in my mic. I don't know how long that's been happening. 1 second here. Let me see if I can fix that for you. That's still there? Maybe it's just my AC. Let me turn off my AC. Oh yeah, that was it. My AC. Alright, sorry about that. We got a new power switch. I'm just gonna try to not bump my mic a million times, as I maybe move this a little out of the way and add our new switch on here. Hopefully this will line up correctly this time. Gonna just make sure. Okay, I'll hold that in place with a tweezer. Alright. I think that'll do. We'll see. We'll see if it lines up. Sometimes just little things like this that just make everything harder. This is sticking. Deal, good deal. Okay. Let's see here. Move that back out of the way, sorry. Okay, switch works. Now, does it line up correctly? I mean, it does, but it doesn't. It's about 50-50. Wonder what I could do. You know, maybe I could just add a little bit of Sugru to that as well, so it'll grab. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. Just barely missing, but I can do that off stream. That will take a while to set, but for all intents and purposes, this is finished. Let me just kind of piece this together here, real quick and dirty like. Actually, before I piece it together, we're gonna make sure that a game boots. I'm gonna make sure, as I drop everything, I'm gonna put Wario Land in here. Flip it on. Oh, dude.
Big guy. I love knowing a tech wizard to help my smooth brain self with these kind of things. Laughing face.
Thank you so much, LTAB. I love you, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, so it's booted to the game. So far buttons are working. I can move left, right, up and down. Select. Pause. Yep, everything's working. We're good to go. Cool. Yeah, we're working. So, I will get this held together with my plastic mold tonight. It'll be ready tomorrow. Once we hit that 50 followers, we're gonna give this away. So I want you guys to have it, of course. We'll keep it right here on my desk until we get there. So, one last thing to do before we call it a night is I gotta put the screen on here and clean this up. I did put some fingerprints on there, so let me get a rag. Donates $20.69. Shee! Nice. That's a little squirt. Gonna wipe this down. Okay, so that's clean. Just want to make sure that there's no, because you know you get one speck of dust on here, you're gonna see it every time you play. You're never gonna forget about it. You know about it. I'm out of here. It was a good time. Well, thanks, man. Have a good night. I'm sure we'll talk soon. Thanks for stopping by. I'll let you know when we're ready to give this away so you can have a chance at winning it. Okay. We're looking pretty good there. No hairs, no dust. Gotta check this. There we go. Set there as well. There we go. Alright, moment of truth. We're gonna stick this together here. Alright, we're gonna peel off this adhesive backing. Okay, we've stuck it down. I'll try to get a good angle for the peel here. Oh, we'll try it with There we go. There we go. All right. So ignore the wires hanging down off the bottom. But that's how we're looking now. Not bad, not bad. I'm excited to give this one away. This will be nice. It looks so much better in person. So what I'm gonna do is once I get my desk cleaned up and I get this put together with the plastic molding and everything tomorrow, I'm gonna take some nice pictures of it, and I'm gonna pop those in the Discord. So let me turn this off. We'll put the Discord link in chat here real quick. Here we'll go. Just chatting now. That was a lot of fun. I hope that we can get new camera to get some overhead angles here next time. Let me open my chat. So join in the Discord there. You're gonna be seeing pictures of this guy put up. That's also where you'll see my announcements for when we're actually gonna give it away, because 33 followers is pretty good, but I want to hit 50 so I can get affiliate here before I give this away. So I hope that everyone here can come back for that. But let me raid. We're down to 1 follower, but I'm gonna raid anyway. Let me get my keyboard here. Ugh. Going to raid. We're gonna raid Cool Cat here. He's an old buddy of mine. Oh, that's not how it's done. My goodness. Okay, let's try that again. I should /raid. I do that every time. Okay. One viewer ready to raid. There we go. So again, thanks for watching. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you come back for the next one we do. I hope you can come back for this giveaway. I'm really excited to give this away. But here we go. We're gonna raid. Oh.